My name's Brian Slater and I'm the organiser tonight. There are two clubs in Lincolnshire and this is a competition between the both of them. It's called the Lincolnshire Challenge Shield. The people from Lincoln are coming up to Cleethorpes Country Park to have this competition. We're running a maze using their navigational skills and their running ability. So we've got a prologue tonight, which is the first race, so everybody goes in for the first race and then out onto the main terrain and then back to the maze and then doing that twice, and based on their time there will then be a chasing start so that people will be running in order of the first race. The participants are coming through to race registration now. They will have to register because we use electronic timing, and we use these devices, which is called an SI card, Sport Ident card. It's got a silicon chip in it and it will collect times from the boxes that are placed at the control sites around the site, so that we know that people have been to the right place, how long it's taken them to do that. As you can see, young people are involved in this as well as old people. It's a family sport. Okay, young Joe here was the junior champion in the Poacher Series, which we've just finished. Best 8 events out of 11, and he had the most points, so he did really well. Got a big bar of chocolate and a cup.
My name's Joe Field and my family's been doing orienteering for a lot since 1999. And my brother Zach won it in 2005, my brother Jake won it in 2008 and 2007. Now I've won it in 2011. This is a compass, this is the dibber, and this is a control description holder. And you get a whistle when they tell you if you need it. So if you fall over or break anything, or you're injured, you can blow the whistle. I like orienteering because I get to beat my sister and I like running around and navigating.
Never.
Right, if you're new to orienteering, you'd need to learn you need to be instructed on how to use the SI card, or the dibber as we call it for short. And the silicon chip will already have some information. It needs to be cleared completely, so we have programmed an electronic timing box here to clear the dibber. Just hold that in for a second or two. It bleeps and it flashes and we know it's clear. We can then check that it's clear in another box, and then we're ready to start, get our map and off we go into the event. People will go over to the maze, navigate around the maze, and the planner has made this really complicated so that people have to think which way to go. It's not easy, and they're following the map all the time. They will do 7 or 8 controls in the maze, and then they'll go out around the rest of the country park, and then they will come back and do a different course in the maze.
My name's Amanda Roberts and I run a marquee company, and we're here this evening doing a competition against Halo. We have to go through a maze and pick up all the right checkpoints, go around a course and then back through a maze again, and we've got to do it all again in an hour's time. And exhausted already.
Now, the maze makes it interesting, but the area is quite nice actually. It's not too hard to run on.
I did some orienteering when I was in the army, and then when my children were in scouts, the scouts went along to the orienteering group, and bearing on from that I joined the club and got interested in it because I don't like running, but the map reading makes the running bearable.
I've always run, as a half decent runner, but age catches up, and the slower I got, you just need a new challenge, and Orienteering's given me a new challenge. It's a good sport, yeah. It gets you fit, it makes you think, improves no end of skills, improves your fitness, improves your map reading skills. Really good for young people.
And I find for a person who's not particularly keen on running, the map reading gives you an incentive to keep going, because you don't want people to see where you're going or to see where you've been. So for me, it's an incentive to keep going. All your times are logged, and then on the second course, the slowest runners go first, with the fastest runners going last, and in theory, everyone should finish at the same time. If everyone goes at the same speed as they went in the
theory
first race.
actually works out. It's another thing.
So it should be quite a dramatic finish.
My name's Jake Field. I run for Halo, and we're hopefully going to beat Log. Very confusing around the maze. The main bit where we weren't in the maze was alright. It's quite easy running ability. Just kept on going around in a circle on the course. You just basically went to a control, and all those tapes that are out there, they're all like uncrossable fences. They'll be like massive tall fences in real life. So what you got to do is you got to run around them and get controls. The problem is sometimes you'd have a control on the other side of the fence. You can't just literally put your arm over. You got to run all the way around, which can be quite tiring.
I'm running for Halo. I know this terrain, but it's very taxing. The planners have done a marvellous job, because they've woven the course backwards and forwards, and the maze is particularly testing, because sometimes you have to do the same course, same controls twice, and every time you change direction you're lost on the map, so you've got to keep really tight control of the map. I enjoyed it. We're looking forward to the second half, which is a chase. This is very different. It's flat, familiar to most of us, but some people won't be familiar with it. The addition is the maze. We don't usually have a maze as part of a competition like this. This is a competition between two clubs, and so it's a needle match. There are some really fast runners who, some of them might have set these courses before, and we've practiced them before in training, but we haven't done this one. And we've done this one twice, in fact. One way and then run away, and each time I was lost. So I really enjoyed that. I got into orienteering 45 years ago, at the start of orienteering in Britain in '69. And I've been running ever since then. What I enjoy about it, it's a sort of game where, a sport where you're a cross between chess and running. And you've got to solve problems all the time without stopping. Every time you stop, you lose so many seconds, and it's a matter of seconds. It's an individual sport, but of course afterwards we compare notes and we say, well, you did that wrong and I did this wrong and I did that right and you did that right. So it's a very exciting sport.
Hi, I'm How'd you get on?
And that's the sort of thing that attracts you. You travel a long way and compete over 5 days. You know, I'm 75 now, approaching 75, yet I can beat some of my colleagues. When I get into 75, I'll be even better, because they'll be competing against 79-year-olds. So that's the sort of thing that keeps me going, training every week and enjoying the competition every weekend. We do try to publicise things as much as we can, and the publicity is getting better. It's getting through the press, through leaflets, through clubs. Young people are the ones we want to attract. Older people will bring their children in, and that's happening now. We've been very successful just recently to actually attract. Some of the club events we've had have increased their numbers. We started with a regular weekly event on a Wednesday like today, except much simpler, not a needle match, with about 30 members. Now we've got 80 or 90, and many of them are children and families, and they're beginning to learn. We've got coaches who will encourage them, give them support week in, week out, and they get more confident. Great confidence built for children, and of course keeps them fit, keeps them from getting too bulky, and keeps them off the television perhaps as well of games.
Great stuff. Could you just tell me now?
That was a good one. Excellent, thank you very much. 33 minutes. That's a bit too long.
How did you do there,
I
fellas?
did
Did you?
29.
Fun?
I did
20. Well, this is
29.
it. You see, that's the competition we get. These are the youngsters we want to encourage. You're 9 or 10? 9, and he's beating me. 33 minutes, which is not very good for me. I should have done that in about 25, but we slow down on that maze. That maze is...
Yeah, because it's complicated.
It is complicated. You've got to concentrate, haven't you?
Because like when you're at number 1, you're trying to think, and when you get to like number 3, and you're supposed to go to number 2, you think it's time you need
That's right, yes, I know, you've got to count everything. That's where the chess comes in, you've got to concentrate.
I've missed pud. Have you? Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. Thought I did well.
Where's Paul? Phone numbers were all wrong. So I think what you can do is
You're the